everyone, and welcome to the Wolfpack Stadium for CTN's live coverage of high school football. It's the final game of the regular season, and the Coon Rapids Cardinals make the long trip to the southeast corner of the Metro to face off against the Park High School of Cottage Grove Wolfpack. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action, and Howie, Cardinals coming off a couple of losses, trying to bounce back, get a little bit of momentum, but still very nicked up.
They limped into that game last week against Hopkins, a team that they should have beaten, and unfortunately 6 turnovers really was mostly the tail of that game. And you're right, and they're limping in. They're still going to be without a few starters tonight, but it's an opportunity for some other players to step up and continue to develop until the section playoffs start.
And on the flip side, the Wolfpack also trying to close things out strong at home. They have sections to look forward to as well, and knowing that the Cardinals come in after a couple of straight losses, a team that's vulnerable, maybe they can pick up a victory in their final home game. Coming
off a couple of losses, both shutouts to St. Thomas Academy and South St. Paul, so this is an opportunity for them to bounce back. As you mentioned before the sections, they certainly want to come out here and fire off on all cylinders against a team that when I talked to Coach Fricklin, said this is a very physical and fast, physical and athletic team in Coon Rapids.
Well, we talked about, the Cardinals are nicked up a little bit, but they do get one piece back tonight. They're hoping they can get him involved both offensively and defensively.
Well, they're going to want to run the ball, but Ryan Garlick offers a different scenario to the outside. They're going to play, the Wolfpack are going to play man defense, and he is so quick. So I think they're going to run the ball, but they're going to try and develop some plays for him to use his speed downfield. We'll see if Doe can get him the ball.
Well, and this is two teams that both really have their biggest stars on the defensive side of the football, and they've got a young man in Giannini who has twice as many tackles as any of his teammates.
Max Giannini's averaging over 10 tackles a game. He's got 10 tackles for loss as well, so he is a force, and the Cardinals know that. They look at the stats, and they see the opportunity for them ahead of themselves. So this will be a good one.
The Wolfpack won the toss and deferred. Coon Rapids will receive. Caden Johnson on to kick it away. Good kick back inside the 5 goes Tarnu to return up the middle, gets a good seam out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Coon Rapids is going to start with pretty good field position.
Yeah, and you look at the situation with the Cardinals. They do play on grass at home, but they have played on this turf a few times this year, so they're used to that. And they have the athletes and they have the speed to take advantage of this turf.
Well, and a team that found decent success last week against Hopkins when they ran the football. Passing was a different story, but it was also a very different night, windy and cold and snow. And a false start to start the ball game.
Yeah, and penalties have been an issue for Coon Rapids all year long, and I believe they had, I want to say, 11 penalties last week, I think. I could be mistaken, but nonetheless, those are not what you want to do. Is you want to start on first down and lose your first 5 yards by a penalty.
1st and 15, swing pass to Jeebly on the left side. He's met quickly, and he's going to have a very short gain, maybe to the 29.
Nice job by the
Caden Johnson there for the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by the Wolfpack to sniff that out. They know that the Cardinals love that wide receiver screen, and they're trying to cheat their defense over to see if they can prevent that.
So 2nd and 15, no gain on the pass. They'll go quarterback option. Finding a seam in the middle is Doe. He's out to the 35-yard line, and that will bring up 3rd and 8. Down on the sidelines, Jen Halverson, a little more comfortable for you tonight than it was on Friday.
That's right, Joe. There's not as much precipitation everywhere. But, the Cardinals facing some setbacks the past few weeks, but they're ready to bounce back tonight. I spoke with head coach Nick Russin earlier, and he said the message going into tonight is to create your own destiny. He said all the goals they set early on in the season are very much still in front of them. He also noted that he wants his team to just appreciate things like each other, these moments, memories. It's week 8, and it's not going to last forever. So he wants especially his seniors to take everything in going into tonight and the playoffs. Joe?
Thank you, Jen. And on 3rd and 8, nearly a long reception to Cedillo, just out of his reach, not able to bring it in, and the Cardinals are going to go 3 and out. Donovan Blatcher is the return man for the Wolfpack, standing just inside his 30, now walking up.
Well, Cedillo did a nice job of getting behind the defense. Unfortunately, Doe just couldn't find him.
Good punt for Tarnew. Backing away is Blatcher, and the Cardinals will down it right around the 35-yard line.
Now, a little disappointing first drive for Coon Rapids, Joe. First penalty, they get movement and immediately start back in the hole, and unfortunately had a 3 and out.
.30-yard punt, and the Wolfpack will start off 1st and 10 from their own 35. Kimmel out of the shotgun. Has a couple of receivers on the left side. Stacked on the right. Fumble. Miles Taylor right there to bury Kimmel as he tried to pick it up, and Kimmel grabbing at his knee.
Oh, that would be a big blow for this squad. Yeah, he's in some obvious pain. Hate to see that,
especially on the first
offensive
play of the game.
He just dropped it. Yeah, and it maybe just came down on him, and Miles on top of him. Yeah, we certainly hope he's okay.
We'll take a break as he is tended to and be back with more from Wolfpack Stadium after this. You're watching live high school football on CTN.
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then just follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Keep up with local news, sports, and events, and the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
So Jonathan Berry will come in and take over at quarterback as Kimmel goes over gingerly on either the ankle or the knee. He went down to scoop up the ball right as Miles Taylor was coming in. Taylor, a lot of momentum coming into him, and a high snap. Nice recovery, though, by Berry. Scrambles and ends up fumbling it out of bounds. He's going to lose a couple more yards.
Yeah, and a defense like this is so quick. I mean, any miscue like that is really going to typically end in a bad situation.
It was a nice recovery quickly by Berry, but once he was outside the pocket, he needs to get rid of that ball. Because you mentioned it, any miscue, and this team will be all over you. Now it's going to be 2nd and 19 from the 26.
Well, Berry's stats for the season, 3 of 9 for 53 yards, a 33% completion rate.
Handoff going to the right side is Christopher Brewer. Not a lot there. He's going to lose another yard. It'll be 4th and 20 and a 3 and out for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Jordan Nolan on the tackle. You see him walking around. At least I like the smile on his face, but definite limp. Nolan coming in with 64 tackles on the season, make it 65 now, the leading tackler on this squad.
Caden Johnson punting. Ryan Corey is the deep back. Good high punt. Corey will bail out, and this one's going to travel. Beauty. Great roll, and it is going to be down at the 12-yard line. A boomer of a punt for Caden Johnson. And early on, offense is not finding first downs. The field position becomes so important. That punting game can be crucial.
Well, I know Coach Strickland wants to keep this squad in a long field, and they certainly did there with that beautiful punt. That may be one of the best punts we've seen all year.
Tarnu had
one
the
of
one
them.
that was down
One of
at the
them.
one. That was
Yeah,
better.
one of
He
them.
had one that was 60 plus. Doe on the quarterback draw, looking for blockers on the left side. Will get out around the 20-yard line. Good solid gain on first down. Sets up second and short.
Yeah, and a really nice play because on second and short, you can open up your offense and do so much. You know, we normally see when Jake Van Holzen is healthy and in a quarterback, Jordan Doe is a very dangerous receiver because of his speed and his elusiveness.
Doe sends Cedillo in motion. Option to the right. Pitch goes to Jeebly. Has a hole. Flag in the backfield, though. He's got a first down out across the 25 to the 27, but this one's going to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, it's just miscues that have hurt Coon Rapids this year.
So it'll be 2nd and 6 after the illegal shift.
Now it's nice we can pick up a little sound. He not wearing the mic tonight for us.
2 men in motion. You can't do that.
No.
Happened a lot in last week's game.
Yes, it did.
No flags thrown. Quarterback option left side. Doe will keep it. Spins off a block. And he's got a first down out close to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and again, the Wolfpack defense fortunate that he was not able to slip by that last tackle because with his speed, there was a lot of open field in front of him. And again, the defense has to be concerned about the little pitch. And nice job there.
10-yard gain and a first down.
Ian Lewis on the tackle. I'm sorry, Ian Miller.
Handoff goes to Jeebly, gets some blocks on the left side, and a flag coming in late from the backfield.
Yeah, that's against Coon Rapids.
Going to be a short 3-yard gain, but
I think it's going to be a hold. Yeah, they're pointing back towards Coon Rapids.
third penalty already for the Cardinals, second on this drive.
Called that one on Tony Hall. We'll see if we can see it right there. Yeah, right there. No, just missed it, but right there.
So it'll be 1st and 21.
And
from
again,
the 14-yard line.
Especially at this part of the field, Joe, you don't want to get in these kind of first down and long situations. I mean, it takes really what you want to do, takes you away from your playbook and what you want to do in this game, especially early on.
Cardinals bring the receivers in tighter on 1st and long. Rolling right is Jordan Doe. He wants to throw back. He's chased, steps up, throws, pass is complete to the go-go out to the 23-yard line.
He did a nice job of just sitting down, and that pass was a little bit low, but he was able to make sure he picked it up before it hit the turf. Does a nice job of gathering it in, and so it makes it 2nd and 12.
And we've got an early timeout called by the Wolfpack. Not sure what you see wrong stepping up when you have them 2nd and long deep in their own end, but obviously something the coaching staff didn't like, wanted to talk about. Make sure that they can force the Cardinals off the field here.
Well, you know, and Coach Fricklin has basically said to me earlier, this is a team in Coon Rapids that's bigger and more physical and definitely have more athletes than we do. And I know he wants to make sure, especially in this situation, you get them in 2nd and long, maybe put a little pressure on, see if you can get them to commit something here, maybe commit a turnover, do something in order to disrupt what the Cardinals want to do here on 2nd and 12.
Well, when the other team, we always talk about taking advantage of opportunities when the other team it takes 2 penalties like that deep in their own end, you've got to take advantage of that opportunity.
You do.
Keep them backed up, try
Exactly.
to get them off the field as quickly as possible. Of course, it also gives Coach Russin an opportunity to talk to his offense. They've got 4 receivers lined up wide to the right. It's 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12. They're going to run the option play back to the left. Doe will keep it, get to the sidelines, and step out after gaining a first down. Out to the they're going to say stepped out earlier, about a 3rd and about 2.
Carson Kahns does a nice job of pursuing down the line and making sure he tries to keep him in before he stepped out.
Stay with those 4 receivers on the right side. Handoff goes to Jeebly, trying to find a way off tackle, and he's going to have the first down. It's amazing the power he runs with, as small as he is.
But
much power in that lower body that he
mean,
just drags guys with him.
I mean, you look at the size of his lower body, and he gets all his push from those big legs.
Needed 2, got 3, 1st and 10 from the 36. They'll spray Jeebly out, and then the draw to Doe. He dives forward to the 39-yard line, a gain of 3.
Well, we'll keep a watch on the battle up front between both offensive lines and defensive fronts, but especially the one here with Coon Rapids. Pretty good size offensive line.
Doe rolling out, wants to throw. Pass complete to Morange. He's hit and dropped at the 41, but a flag again in the backfield.
Yeah, that's another hold on Coon Rapids, I believe.
Third penalty, 2nd for holding on this drive. And they would have had another 3rd and short situation, and now it's going to be 2nd and very long.
You're going to see it right there. There's the hold.
2nd and 23 from the 23. And this is a team in Coon Rapids really wants to run the ball, forced to throw, and they tried to set up the screen. A little too high for Jeebly, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and forever.
And again, a situation where I think they may have something set up and they just couldn't connect.
Third and 23 from the 23. Doe, straight drop, steps up, in trouble, escapes a man, and now is going to take off. He's got a bunch of Wolfpack behind him. He's going to have a great gain, but it'll be 4th and about 3 as he gets out to the 43.
Well, he certainly made it very interesting for Coach Russin to make a decision here on 4th and 3. But again, elusive. We talked about him. And again, and just the play right there to get away from the tackle. And then he's able to accelerate to pick up that additional yardage. Just couldn't get there to the stripe. But they're going to go for it.
4th and 2. They're at least going to try to get the Wolfpack to jump offside. So far, we haven't seen a flag thrown against the home team. And they are going to snap it. Doe on the keeper.
He's got it.
And he's going to be right at the stripe, but he should have enough.
See Doe,
they aren't even going to measure.
No.
Move the chains.
7 carries for 61 yards so far for Jordan Doe.
Needed the 46, got the 46, 1st and 10. You can't keep dodging those bullets, though.
Cannot.
You can't take those penalties. I mean, this drive, they've already had to make up 25 extra yards.
What have they had?
Or more.
4 penalties so far here
3.
in the first quarter?
In the first quarter, yes. Yeah. 3 on this drive.
Yep.
Well, they tried to run option left again, and
That's not working.
Or the quarterback keeper left anyway, and this time the Wolfpack was ready.
Well, again, you know, the defense pursues well to that side of the field and not giving Doe a lane to turn up into.
Jordan Nolan is going to check in and line up as a flanker on the right side of the line.
We saw him in the game at receiver last week.
Handoff goes to Jeebly. He cuts it upfield, and he's going to be close to the 50-yard line. They're going to put it right at the midfield stripe. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Again, the Cardinal offensive line opening a small hole for Jeebly, but give credit to that Wolfpack defense. They closed it fairly quick to allow him just to gain 4 yards on the play.
Doe wants to throw, looking long for Cedillo, incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
That time Cedillo got behind the defense, just Doe couldn't find him.
Looks like they're sending Tarnu back off the field on 4th and 6.
Well, you know they have confidence in their defense, quite obviously. So,
and again, though, you don't want to tempt anything. And when you're not moving the ball on this drive. You have moved the ball on this drive, but you've moved it backwards too. At this point, pin them deep.
Well,
of course, we did see the pooch punt last week, which worked out quite terrifically in their favor. We'll see what they do here on 4th and 6. Will shovel pass to Jordan Nolan, and he's swarmed right at the line of scrimmage, and the Cardinals will give the ball over right at midfield.
Well, and Jordan Nolan's slow to get up, and that's huge. Let's hope he's okay. Oh, that's not good.
Well, they've been fortunate that their defense has been relatively injury-free, but that is a big part of their defensive machine right there.
He's their leading tackler. I think is he checking his ankle? Yeah, that's the same thing that Avant Shannon is dealing with is an ankle injury that's keeping him out a little longer than they'd like. And Sonny Tao
is Sonny Tao an ankle or a knee? I think he's also.
I think his ankle as well. Yeah, but taking that young man out of your defense. Let's see if we can see it here.
That just didn't fool them at all. Longevin is a big boy, and he was not about to let number 9 get away from it.
I think Longevin came down on his ankle, and and he's putting some weight on it, but not much.
And his absence will be felt right away as his defensive team has to go out on to the field as they take over on downs right at midfield.
Well, Joe, it's always a next man up mentality, and so the next guy in has to, at least attempt to fill the cleats of that young man, which is a very tall task.
Well, Park, first possession, not pretty. 3 plays went backwards, 15 yards. But able to hold on defense, get the turnover right in midfield, and the offense comes out with great field position. And they do have Kimmel back in a nice run off the right side of first down to the Cardinal 35-yard line for Christopher Brewer.
Yeah, and that's what the Wolfpack need. They need a little bit of energy here because, as you mentioned, that first drive did nothing for them. There's a missed tackle by the Cardinals, and he does a nice job of keeping his legs moving and actually falling backwards to pick up some additional yardage.
Well, Manos was able to get him held up but didn't get support to help finish the tackle, and he got dragged 5 yards. So a 15-yard gain, 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 35. Kimmel will roll to his left, looking downfield, being chased, now throws on the run, and that one bobbled and Eventually caught by Langevin out of bounds, and at first it was just good he got a hand on it because it might have been picked off.
No, it would have been picked off, but you know he stands 6'5", 240. And that would have been picked off, I believe, by Corey.
Ryan Corey was right there saying mine, and Langevin said not quite. 2nd and 10. Strong side right. Connor Kahn's the man in the backfield. He gets to carry in a nice hole. Big blocks downfield. He's got a first down inside the 25, close to the 23-yard line.
Well, Connor Kahns does not have the most amount of carries of all these back, but he's averaging just a shade under 10 yards a carry. Has 5 scores for the Wolfpack. Has 350 yards coming into this game on the season rushing.
11-yard gain, 1st and 10 from the 24. Shift to the right side again with Kahns in the backfield. Handoff goes through the middle with Brown Knott, trying to get around the left side, and he'll gain a couple.
Manos,
of a yard.
Manos on the tackle, but again, you don't want to. I mean, you certainly don't want to give up points here in this situation. You want to be able to stop them on the defense, but your offense hasn't really generated too much yet to start this game for Coon Rapids.
They'll shift to the left this time. Handoff goes to Kahns, running left. Met quickly, wrapped up and dropped for no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Miles Taylor on the tackle for the Cardinals.
Well, they are going to give him a yard.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got the benefit of being rolled over. Either way, still 3rd and long. 3rd and about 8. Brown Knott moved all over the place, and you saw his head drop. He knew it.
At first, I wasn't sure they were going to throw the flag.
Well, it took a long time.
It was a little delayed.
Even he was like, oh, goodness, I can't believe it.
Maybe I'll get away with it. Shh, don't tell anyone.
It's the first flag thrown against the Wolfpack. Play action, Kimmel chased, rolling, looks to throw and does, picked off by Ethan Tedrow, and he's out of bounds at about the Cardinal 26-yard line.
Yeah, again, tough situation. He was running for his life as he was rolling right and threw it right to Ethan Tedrow. And that's a big interception for this defense. The Wolfpack was getting a little something going. I'm not sure who he was throwing to there.
There were a lot of white jerseys
there were
in the
three
vicinity.
of them.
Oh, he had a man.
Yeah,
he had Brown Knott right behind Tedrow, just well covered. On 1st down, Doe pressured in the backfield, but able to avoid some pressure and get out across the 30, almost a 5-yard gain. That could have easily been a loss.
It very well could have. I mean, they're very active on defense. They got a piece of them, but again, elusive, able to get away.
2nd and 5 as we cross under a minute remaining in this opening quarter. No score yet. Coon Rapids on the road at Park of Cottage Grove. Final game of the regular season. Handoff goes to Jeebly, trying to get around his block, and great contain on the edge there by Donovan Blatcher. keeps him to a very short gain. It'll be 3rd down.
A 3rd and 5 situation here for Coon Rapids. They've struggled a little bit on 3rd down, 1 of 4.
And they're going to get a free 5 right there. That'll be a 1st down. Down on the sidelines, checking on the Cardinals, walking wounded, is Jen Halverson. Jen?
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, Jordan Nolan just had his right ankle, taped up by athletic trainer Jeremy Shepard, and he's lacing his shoes back up, and it looks like he's going to return to the game.
That is great news.
Best case
for the
scenario.
Cardinals defense. But that will end the first quarter. The Cardinals get the free 1st down on the flag. No score after the first period. 2nd quarter after this on CTN.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Handful of Cardinal fans making the long journey from the northwest to the southeast. Cardinal faithful.
No school tomorrow.
That's true. It's true. I think I'll wake my son up in the morning just for the fun of it. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Handoff goes to Jeebly. Avoids the first contact. Breaks free, and he may be gone. Oh, no. Tripped up as he gets across the 40. A diving save by Carson Kahns.
Yeah, Carson Kahn's a good athlete for this Wolfpack squad, and he was able to bring Jeebly from behind. But you're right. Had he not been able to get him in, that would have been 6. He's got the speed. And,
good pursuit angle and just able to get there. 1st and 10 from the 37. Handoff Jeebly. Tripped up and will get to the 35. Gain of 2.
You see the numbers for Jeebly so far tonight. 5 carries, 36 yards. Well, I think that's what they want to do, and they want to be able to run this football pretty much most of the evening.
Well, it doesn't help when you keep putting yourself in 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
No.
So it'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, I mean, the penalties been tough all season long for Coon Rapids.
Ball just outside the 40. 2nd and 13. Doe. Screen to Cedillo. And what a great tackle. Right there was Brown not to bring him down immediately. No gain.
See, again, just the play developed, and it's just Brown not doing a great job of kind of shedding a block and opportunity there. And that play would have gained some nice yardage had he been able to get past him.
3rd and 13. Blitz is coming. Doe throws long, has Garlic caught, touchdown, Coon Rapids.
Oh, we talked about it in the beginning of the game. Ryan Garlic, they loved defensively to play the one-on-one matchup. That time they drew that play up for Ryan Garlic. He got behind the defense and made a nice catch. Good throw from Doe. May have been Doe's best throw of the season.
Well, and a great job by the Cardinals picking up the blitz. And Garlick just stretches it downfield. And Blatcher just a little too late to keep him from getting across the stripe.
And that's what they wanted to do, is use that speed. Get downfield. Coon Rapids call a timeout.
Well, and I don't know what they were sending out there because they had Lucky Morange out there, but he, unless something we don't know happened to Alex Findley, and they are no longer able to have him kicking field goals.
Or do we even see
I
him?
did not look to see. They have not kicked the ball yet.
No, I'm just thinking.
So-
Look to see if he's on the sideline.
But usually he's pretty easy to spot. He's
He
the one
is.
dancing.
And he's got like what? He wears one pink sock. Did last week, one pink stripe. There he is, right there.
So he's definitely in the house.
Yep.
But he is not heading out on the sideline for an extra point as him. Had one block last week and shanked another. Cardinals end up losing by 1
They're
point.
going for two. They're going to go for two. That's why he's not there.
Doe. Play action. Pass complete to Morange. 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, nice job there. Again, fooled the defense and is lucky. Able to get that 2-point conversion for the catch, make it 8-0 Coon Rapids here to start this second quarter. Again, nice pass on the touchdown as Garlick gets behind the defense. And then the quick little throw to Lucky Morange.
See Garlick in behind him
Yep.
as well. They had a number of targets open in the end zone.
Seven plays to go 74 yards, taking 3:15 off the clock. That 40-yard touchdown throw from Doe to Garlick.
Yeah, we talked about him in the open. Nice to have him back in the
Yep.
lineup.
Again, using his speed. He's a good blocking back as well. Yeah, he's got 8 targets, 8 catches.
That's a pretty good ratio.
That's not bad.
It's a pretty good ratio. Give some credit to the guys throwing the ball. That
Yo,
means
absolutely.
Each of those 8 times they got it where he could catch it, but Caden Johnson and Donovan Blatcher, the return men for Findley's kick.
Oh, he doesn't have the pink sock on today. Did last week,
It's in the wash.
apparently. It was white. Got mixed in with some
With
reds,
the red
reds.
pants.
Yep.
Findley boots it, and it'll be taken by Johnson from the 5. He reverses to Blatcher. Blatcher has some good blocks, cutting back out across the 30 and taken down at the 34-yard line. So nice job, nice well-designed
Yeah.
reverse.
Absolutely. Well, the Cardinals saw it once. If they see it again, they know what to expect.
Well, and the blocking was so well established
Yep.
along the left side that when Blatcher got turned upfield, he had a lot of teammates to run up behind. Decent field position again for the Wolfpack. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Just a couple of ticks under 10 minutes remaining in the opening half. They trail 7-0 or 8-0. Handoff goes to the left side for Christopher Brewer, and he's across the 35 to the 36-yard line, a gain of 2.
I don't see Nolan in there. So we'll see if coaching staff decides to hold him out.
Well, and again, as we talked about last week, there were even some guys that could have come back to action
Yep.
as early as last week, but better to hold them off.
Yep.
And there you see him with the shoe is off, the cleat is off, the ice is on, so his night is probably over. Handoff in the backfield, wrapped up is Brewer, and driven back. Ball comes out, but well after the whistle blew.
That was a number of Cardinal defensive players led by Miles Taylor in on that play to make it 3rd and long.
Loss of 2 will make it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Miles had him initially, and he and Tedrow.
He's such a strong player, and when he gets you wrapped up,
yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You're not going to go much anywhere, especially when he gets a couple of his friends to come help. So 3rd and 10. Jonathan Berry is the quarterback. Handoff goes to Brown, not running around the right side. The sweep is only going to go so far. He stopped at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, a nice set for the defense there, able to get him to 3 and out. And the Wolfpack going to punt the ball. Tedrow in for Coon Rapids on the tackle.
Well, last time that Caden Johnson put his foot on the ball, it went a very long way.
He boomed it.
And he dropped it and got it down at the 11-yard line. Flag on the sideline.
I think it's on the Cardinals. I think they jumped.
And this punt not as good. Down at the Cardinal 37-yard line. We'll see what the flag is.
Oh, we'll see what they call. Oh, he's looking at the Cardinals. I think it is on.
Well, he was talking to Miles, too. I think it's going to be either a illegal man in motion.
Yeah.
False start.
False start. So we'll attack that 5 yards.
Added to the end?
Yep. Well, the Cardinals are just that quick that they fooled me. I thought they jumped a little bit.
So Coon Rapids will start out from their own 42-yard line, up 8-0. Handoff goes to Jeebly. Jeebly wrapped up and dropped after a very short game. Max Giannini. Haven't talked about him much.
No, we haven't. We talked about him at the opening. He's got a couple of tackles so far here tonight, but like I said, he's averaging over 10 a game. He's got 80 tackles in 7 contests. 61 of those 80 are unassisted.
Well, no, that one stopped Jeebly for a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Quarterback option pitch goes to Jeebly, bobbled it, recovered it, but then hit right away. And he's going to get ahead to the 44, gain of 1 more. Giannini on the tackle again.
Well, that'll put him in a 3rd and long situation. Obviously, those situations that Coach Russin trying to avoid.
Cardinals coming to the line quick on 3rd and 8. 3 receivers on the right side. Doe has Jeebly in the backfield with him. Morange in the slot, Cedillo in the middle, and that's Ryan Garlick at the very bottom of your screen. Up top, the lone receiver is DeGago. Doe drops, looks right, throws long, wants Cedillo, overthrown, picked off by Caden Johnson, and he takes a big turn back upfield looking for some blocks. Good stiff arm, but still wrapped up and taken down by Ryan Garlick. But a big turnover by the Park defense. Gets them the ball right back and in good field position.
Yeah, that's huge. And again, just the ball overthrown, but pretty good coverage by the Wolfpack downfield. Great time for Doe. He had plenty of protection, but just ball overthrown right to Caden Johnson. And he did a great job of the over-the-shoulder catch and a nice job return after that catch to set him up in decent field position to start this drive.
So the offense will take over 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Kimmel back at quarterback. The handoff goes to Carson Cons, and he's got a couple off the right side. Tedrow again on the tackle.
They gave him a 1 yard. Actually, they're putting it right at the marker as no gain, but now they moved it ahead. So 2nd and 9, they're saying. Originally, they had the down marker right at the line of scrimmage.
Because he hadn't moved yet.
Well, no, he moved. They moved back.
You're seeing things. 2nd and 9.
Seeing things.
Handoff goes to Cons again. No hole there. He'll be stopped. No gain this time.
Nope.
It'll be 3rd and long. Miles Taylor and Ethan Tedrow combine on the tackle.
Well, those two young men have been active
Ryan
so far
Corey
tonight.
in there as well. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Wolfpack trailing, but got an interception and now trying to capitalize on the turnover. Facing a 3rd and long situation.
Wolfpack calling a timeout. Oh. To delay a game.
They wish they had called timeout.
Yeah. So that makes it 3rd
3rd and long.
and really long.
Kimmel out of the shotgun, has 3 receivers on his left, 1 to his right. Play action, heaves it to the lone man on the right side, and that is picked off by Joseph Tarnu. Flags on the field.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that. He was fighting for the ball.
Well, he turned around and he caught
turned
the ball. How
around
can
and
your attention be on anything other than the ball? I thought the flag came in.
They're going to call it on the offense?
Well,
I mean,
hard to call it on Tarnu, I think.
Well,
I didn't see it. To me, it didn't look like there was that much contact, but the flag came out right away before Tarnu had even secured it.
Well, let's take another look at that because Tarnu was definitely turned towards the ball. And I didn't really see much either way.
Yeah,
They're going to have to be on the offense.
I mean, if you call it on the offense, I guess I understand.
But you let it play.
But
let it go.
It didn't look like there was that much. But I don't think it's going to be that. Well, they are talking to the Cardinals, though.
Call it a hold on the Cardinals. That's an awful call. I'm sorry. That's an awful call. Awful call. Let's take another look at it.
Heads back towards the ball.
That's a terrible call.
In position. You're fighting for position. There's no way that's a
that's a bad call.
You should almost be embarrassed to call that.
Yeah. Oh, now they're gonna did they throw another flag?
It's not an automatic first down in high school, but if they threw another flag. Sideline warning.
Yeah.
That's the first warning,
Yeah.
so that won't cost them.
Nope.
But it'll be now, instead of an interception, it'll be 3rd and about 3 from the 43.
Yeah, that should. You're right, Joe. That should never been called.
He's still over there.
And I don't blame him.
Talking, and you know it's.
I mean,
it's tough.
We get the opportunity to see a replay.
We do, and I wouldn't want the referee's job, but they run the ball on 3rd down, and that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because Carson Cons was buried in the backfield. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that play initially, I thought, how are they going to call that on Coon Rapids? But
well, his head was clearly turned.
Yeah.
He was clearly playing the ball. You have every right to use your body to get in position to make the catch.
Yeah, it's one thing if he was facing the receiver, but
correct.
His back,
Yeah,
he was totally turned around.
And we're homers.
No.
And I wouldn't do that job. It's a tough job. I'm trying to be nice here, Shapiro. Another great punt, and this one is not going to make it to the end zone. That's a beautiful punt by Caden Johnson.
Yeah,
he's had a couple, plus the big interception.
Yeah, he's got a nice boot.
put it at the 7-yard line. Coon Rapids has it with 3:44 to play second quarter. A lot of field in front of them, and you have a couple of timeouts. And another flag, half the distance.
Yeah, false start. I mean, these kind of penalties shouldn't happen.
So 1st and 13-ish.
Yeah, so they have 7 penalties for 56 yards so far in the first half.
All on the offense.
Yeah.
Until that interference call.
What interference call?
Handoff goes to Jeebly, gets through the hole and out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 6.
Yeah, nice run there. Look at the blocking up front. That was the key. I mean, they were able to stand up the defensive lineman.
2nd and 1. Handoff goes to Jeebly. He's got the first down, breaks a tackle, and taken down as he gets to the 27-yard line.
So elusive. He's got some shifty moves. He does a nice job to stop. He stops for a second to realize where his lane was.
Gain of 11, 1st and 10 from the 27. Handoff goes to Jeebly, hit in the backfield, spins off 1 and gets a yard. But a lot of green jerseys in the vicinity. We're going to let him break free again.
2:40 remaining in this first half. Cardinals would love to get some points before the break because the Wolfpack will get the ball to start the second half.
Cardinals will spread those 4 receivers out to the right. Jeebly in the backfield with Doe. They go left side, quarterback option. Doe keeps it, cuts upfield, and has a good gain out across the 45 to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. And you got to give the big boys up front the credit. They're doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. You're going to see it again. I mean, just look at the job they do. I love the fact that they're pulling and getting that block out. And then Doe realizes he just needs a little bit of a cut back inside to get that additional yardage.
Gain of 20. 1st and 10 from the 48. Jeebly sprints out. And a flag.
Yeah.
False start. Two steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah, I mean, that's just things that the Cardinals know they need to clean up. 8 penalties now for 60 yards here in the first half.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Coon Rapids leads 8-0. Penalty-filled first half. Quarterback draw. Doe spins his way back close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down.
So both Doe and Jeebly having a nice half on the ground here. 11 carries for 91 yards for Jordan Doe.
Under 90 seconds remaining now. Cardinals not showing a lot of hurry up to get to the line and get this off. Doe rolls right, throws on the run, incomplete over the head of Lucky Morange.
So that'll put it at 3rd and long.
Third and 10.
I'll give them a few extra ones to make it a little bit easier if they can.
Well, we had snapped the ball twice without a penalty, so it was about time. So that will move the Cardinals into the plus territory. 3rd and 5 from the 47-yard line of Park of Cottage Grove. Doe, screen to Cedillo, into the middle, gets a block, drags a man. He's going to be very close to a first down. It looks like he's going to be just short.
Yeah, we'll see where they mark it. Yeah, he's going to be less than a yard. Oh, no, he did get it. Where they put the ball down. I thought.
Well, and again, another guy that's
short.
not very big, but great power. Look at the way he just drags the defender. Marion Washington had him wrapped up, but then just couldn't bring him down before he got to the stripe. 1st and 10 from the 42. Doe on the option will keep it. He's wrapped up after a short gain. Down to 37 seconds remaining, and the Cardinals will call a timeout.
Doe got a little collision on his left hand. He was shaking it a little bit. Cardinals will call that timeout with 37 seconds. Well, you can catch everything we do on YouTube, catch our replays, catch everything at CTN, all the excitement. There's Joe Young explaining the facts of life.
And doing a miserable job. But
I do like how you use the crayons to do the drawing.
I like that you nod and
I always
say,
agree
yep,
with you.
even when I'm wrong.
It's in my contract. I have to agree with Young.
2nd and 8 for the Cardinals. 37 seconds left. They now have 1 timeout remaining. Doe drops back, throwing long over the middle, incomplete. Had to Gago, or no, that's Ryan Corey.
Yep.
He had 3 steps on the defender, was all alone, but the ball well over his head.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times. Cardinals doing a good job of, especially on that long pass play, of getting behind the defenders. Just unfortunately, Jordan Doe couldn't find him.
So now on 3rd and 8 from the 41. Doe pumps, waits, now will take off. 1 man to beat, spins away. Support came up and stopped him right across the 40. It'll be 4th down and 6.
I'm not sure if the Cardinals called timeout because the clock wasn't running, but now it is. It was a Cardinal timeout. They wasted some time.
Well, it wouldn't make sense for the Wolfpack to call timeout,
I agree.
really.
You know, I think they have to be happy just being
really,
down 8-0.
Well, and really, it's not a good position for either team to call timeout. I mean, unless you go out there as the Cardinals thinking you can drop 1 play to get the first down.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's why they would.
But, yeah, then you would have wanted to save a little bit more time. Of course, if you go for it on 4th down and give it up, I mean, your defense still has a long field behind them.
It does.
4th and 6. Doe steps back, looks right, then left, steps up, pressured, and he is sacked at the 45-yard line. Ball came out, but it really doesn't matter either way. That's going to be the Cottage Grove ball right there at the 45.
So we have 9 seconds remaining on the clock. Let's see if they just come down and kneel on it, go to the break, knowing they'll get the ball back to start the second half.
Noah Johnson had the sack, and the Cardinals turned over on downs for the second time tonight. We'll see if the Wolfpack want to be aggressive, try and get something downfield quickly, see if they can get a couple of plays off, or do they just come up and take a knee?
I think they take a knee, but let's see.
That is not the victory position they are lining up in. So they disagree with you, Shapiro. Kimmel
Most people
out of the
do.
shotgun. Man in motion is Brown Knott. He gets the carry, avoids a couple of tackles, stays on his feet across midfield, down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. It's a first down.
Wolfpack now timeout with 2 seconds remaining on the clock. They have ways to go to get some points.
43 yards, to be exact.
I'm glad you're exact.
But most likely the last play of the first half. Coon Rapids the 8-0 lead. A 40-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Doe to Ryan Garlick early in this second quarter. The only score. Cardinals converted the 2-point conversion on a Doe pass to Lucky Morange. Rolling is Kimmel, rolling again. Now throwing on the run. The pass is complete, and knocked out of bounds is Caldwell. And that'll end the half. And Coon Rapids will go to the locker room up 8-0.
Cardinals had some opportunities to put some additional points on the board, and unfortunately they could not. But they, still 8-0 here. Defense playing well. They will look to regroup, obviously, between the halftime and come out here in the second half and continue to do what they're doing.
Well, and the running game has worked.
It has.
What has killed them, obviously, has been the penalties. Yep. 1 turnover each side, I believe. And, of course, that only score, Doe to Garlick on a 40-yard pass. And our Jen Halverson down on the sidelines to get a word or two with Cardinal head coach Nick Russin. Jen?
Coach, there are 8 penalties this half for 60 yards. How can you try and avoid some of those calls next half?
Yeah, we just got to clean it up. We've talked about it kind of all year that penalties have really hurt us, and it's week 8, and we just got to be better with it. We have some false starts, guys aren't getting their hands inside, so we just got to go in at halftime. We got to coach them up, and we got to come out in the second half with a much, much different mindset.
With Jordan Nolan now out for the rest of tonight, how will that affect your defense?
That defense is still pretty good. Obviously, Jordan's a huge part of it, and unfortunately, had an injury there. But we believe in our guys. We believe in the next guys to step up, and they'll get the job done.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Joe?
Thank you, Jen. And we will take a break. It's halftime at Park of Cottage Grove. Coon Rapids has an 8-0 lead on the Wolfpack. We'll be back to Wolfpack Stadium after this on CTN. Winston, nice hands, drives and scores.
want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then just follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Keep up with local news, sports, and events, and the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Watching your favorite Cardinals sports live is getting even easier. Whether it's CTN Cable Channel 859, the CTN Facebook and YouTube pages, or now live on our Twitter page. You choose how you want to watch Cardinal Nation. With CTN, you'll be able to catch all the big plays, all the emotion, and all the fun of Coon Rapids sports. CTN Coon Rapids, stay connected.
Back at Wolfpack Stadium, halftime of this final regular season game. Coon Rapids on top 8-0, Howie, and a good play to get the touchdown. A couple of nice drives, some good runs. The Cardinals have run the ball very effectively, but as we talked about with Coach, way too many penalties, and I think the same would be said by the far sideline.
Yeah, I agree. Way too many penalties by both squads. But, you look at the fact that Coon Rapids has that 8-0 lead. There was an opportunity for Coon Rapids to put additional points on the board, and it's unfortunate they weren't able to do so. And, Coach Russin talked about the fact they just need to clean a few things up. I think they're going to come out here in the second half and try and do that as they can try and build that lead.
Well, and Cottage Grove had an opportunity too. They let slip away after getting deep into Cardinal territory and turning the ball over. One turnover on each side, not quite what we've seen. And this was a fourth down play, and more importantly, that was where Jordan Doe rolled up his ankle, or Jordan Nolan.
Yep.
Nolan rolled up his ankle. Ethan Tidrow getting the interception for the Cardinals. And as we talked about, the one big play of the first half, over the top from Jordan Doe to Ryan Garlick. And they add the 2-point conversion. Jordan Doe to Lucky Morange. And that has us at 8-0. But, this is certainly not a comfortable lead for the Cardinals, and on the flip side, not an insurmountable lead for the Park of Cottage Grove Wolfpack.
Well, I mean, you look at the Cardinals, they've outgained them 205 yards just to 47, 9 first downs to 3, as you talked about. But that's the number that the Cardinals want to avoid. 8 penalties for 60 yards, put them in first and long and second and long situations. Really kind of got them out of their flow, what their offense wanted to do. That's the key to the second half for the Cardinals. Stay out of those kind of situations.
Well, they had 8 penalties in all of last week, 11 penalties the week before.
Yep.
Just way too many flags on the field, and as Coach Russin talked about this late in the season, those are mistakes you just can't afford to make.
No, you definitely cannot afford to make those kind of mistakes. And so, again, the Cardinals come out here. They know that they have an opportunity that if they can get this win. There's a strong opportunity that they can get the 1 seed in the section. Very big opportunity for them, and that's what they want. They really want, obviously, and then they should have that extra day where they won't play until a week from Saturday, and that will give guys time to heal up, and that's exactly what they're looking for.
We'll take another short break and hopefully get a little reaction from Wolfpack head coach Rick Frickland before we start the second half. You're watching live high school football on CTN.
The award-winning community programming by CTN Coon Rapids is funded exclusively by cable subscribers. Without those subscribers, we would not exist. So no more coverage of local news, stories, events, and sports in our community. So thank you for subscribing to cable TV and for supporting CTN.
Back at Cottage Grove High School, or Park of Cottage Grove High School, down on the sidelines, Jen Halverson with head coach Rick Frickland.
Thanks, Joe. So, Coach, in this first half, what do you want to see shift going into next half to see your offense open up a little bit more?
We just got to be more disciplined, and we got to run the plays we're supposed to run. We got to execute the technique that we're supposed to have, and it's a good defense. They're flying around, so if we don't make the correct step or we don't make the correct technique, they're going to make us pay for it.
Would you tell your team at the half to refocus their energy and just regroup?
I said it's a one-score game. Seniors, you have one half left on this field for the regular season, and we need to be physical and committed to doing our job for one more half, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Have a good day.
Joe?
All right, thank you, Jen. Blatcher and Johnson, the deep backs, ready to take the kick from Alex Findlay, and the second half is underway. Johnson will take it from the 7-yard line, fakes the give to Blatcher. He'll try and find room around the outside on the right. Flag way in the backfield, and a Cardinal slow to get up.
Yeah, that's
And
coming
that's
back.
Tony O'Manos,
Yeah.
but it looks like he is going to be able to get up. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Well, the first flag, apparently there's a couple of flags. First flag is going against the Wolfpack.
Blindside block.
Okay, so
Half
just the one.
distance.
That's another starter for that defense walking off slowly for the
But it
Cardinals.
doesn't look like he's limping
No.
or favoring anything, and that's good. Tone, definitely a good athlete and an important part of the defensive secondary. The Wolfpack will start 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line. They will shift Langevin and Brown Knott to the right side of the offensive line. Out of the shotgun is Kimmel. Handoff goes to Cons. Cons finds a gap, squirms through a couple of defenders, and out across the 20 as a first down to the 23-yard line.
A couple of missed tackles there by Coon Rapids allowed him to get that yardage. They had him, but unfortunately couldn't wrap him up. And a nice run by Con. We talked about Con's, averaging almost 10 yards a carry coming into this game.
Picked up 13 right there, a first down out at the 22-yard line. Just about where the return was before the penalty. Handoff again to Cons. He's met by Taylor in the backfield and stopped for a loss of 3.
Miles Taylor and TJ Hawkins. We talk about TJ all the time, the size in the middle.
He's
a large young man.
That's a lot of human. And look at how much
He ran
force, I was going to say, look at how much force that Miles brings. He grabs the running back and then runs over. TJ Hawkins. 2nd and 13. They shift again with Langevin and Brown Knott moving to the right side. Kimmel out of the shotgun. Handoff, and then the reverse on the inside to Brown Knott, and he finds some room. A big gain, tripped up as he gets out near midfield. Shai Williams on the tackle, but that definitely caught the Cardinals by surprise.
Yeah, it definitely did, and he did a nice job of extending that play. As again, strictly across the defense going the other way. And then he's got some nice wheels to him, but Shai Williams is going to come out and make sure that he took him down, but a nice gain by Brown Knott. 4 carries, 48 yards on the evening.
Well, in just 3 plays to move the ball 40 yards for the Wolfpack to start this second half after starting deep in their own end. Handoff goes to Cons, and again he's swallowed up in the backfield.
Big loss.
Tedrow and Taylor both.
There's a flag.
There.
There's a flag. It's going against. I think it's going against the Cardinals. I don't know if it's excessive celebration. That's on Miles Taylor.
Well, that's always a questionable one for me, regardless of the situation, just because the kids are out here to have fun. A little bit of celebration.
That's what he did. And he does that every single time he makes a play. That's what he does, and it's the first time all year he's been called for that.
Well, and I wonder, too, if they were seeing that as an indication across the throat rather than the front of the face. But
well, it does the thumbs down a lot, too.
But again, the game's supposed to be fun. You have to let the kids have fun. You got to have at least a certain amount of celebration, or you're taking the joy out of the game. And anytime you have a penalty like that, it's so much a referee's discretion. And instead of being second and long, it's 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 41. They hand off on the inside to Blatcher, and Blatcher finds his way down to the 38-yard line, a gain of 3.
And this is a big opening drive for Park and Cottage Grove, because if they can put some points on the board, they're right back in this game. As Coach Fricklin talked about at the break, said, this is just a one-score contest. So do what you're coached up to do and get an opportunity to put some points on the board.
Shift goes to the left side of the line this time. Kimmel hands off to Cons, fumble in the backfield. I think he's able to get back on top of it. Manos back on the field and went in after it, so it's good to see him back on the field.
Yep.
But
they're fortunate they kept this ball. Now puts them in a 3rd and long situation.
Loss of 7, 3rd and 14 from the 45. And I would assume 4-down territory. But, neither team moving the ball very well on offense. We saw the Cardinals turn one over on downs right in midfield in that first half. And Park had their best opportunity off of that turnover, and they set up the screen, and it bounces away from Carson Cons, incomplete. It'll be 4th and long.
No, the Cardinals did have 200 yards of offense in that first half. So, again, they're moving the ball. But the fact that they've been penalized has really contributed to the fact that they've only have 8 points on the scoreboard.
But it hasn't been consistent.
No.
They had a good drive here, and then a 3 and out, and then kind of went back and forth. Wolfpack's defense has done a pretty good job of limiting some of the things the Cardinals have tried to do. Another great punt from Caden Johnson.
Yeah, it took a nice bounce.
He's put 3 punts down inside the 10-yard, or inside the 11, I guess. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good. He's
always like to have that on your sideline.
Well, especially given the Coon Rapids, when you're really your offense for the Cardinals. They're not firing on all cylinders, and so giving them a long field makes it a little more difficult.
Jordan Doe alone in the backfield. Jeebly lined up in the slot on the left side. 3 receivers on the right. Jeebly will go in motion, and he gets the carry, cuts back, and he dropped it. Looks like the Cardinals may have got it back, but we'll see what happens when they.
No, I don't think so.
And the Wolfpack does have it.
No, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Let's take another look at it. The truck's saying it should be ours.
Punched out, carrying it like a loaf of bread. Ball still loose, still loose, still loose. And then at that point, it's whoever ends up holding the ball at the end. And it looks like a pretty good play by Noah Johnson to get in there and break things up. First and 10 from the Cardinal 15.
Huge break for the Wolfpack right here.
Handoff goes to Cons. met at the line of scrimmage, able to keep his feet moving and gain a couple. Miles Taylor and Ryan Corey combined for the tackle, 2nd and 9.
You got a quarterback side.
Play action, the pass is incomplete.
Well, he was fortunate.
Intended for Langevin. Yeah, the pass really wasn't close, and Shai Williams wasn't very fortunate. He got run over by Jacob Langevin. And he is he's feeling it. I mean, not often you come across a 6'5", 240-pound tight end.
Not at all.
And you definitely, it's tough to run into that guy at full speed. 3rd and 9 from the 14. Kimmel, straight drop, looks left, now chased, gets away from King. On the run, will turn it upfield, and he will be forced out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, and Kimmel made a nice play out of what could have been disastrous. He's not caught from behind. Ty King almost had a hand on him.
Put it at the 8-yard line. 4th and 3. And they're going to bring in the field goal unit. Line up for a Caden Johnson 25-yard attempt. That kick is up. It's definitely long enough. It's good. And the Wolfpack is on the board.
Wolfpack, their first points in the last, they were shut out the last 2 games, so their first points here are field goal. And Cardinals fortunate they held them to 3.
Very, after turning the ball over
where
at
they
the
did.
15.
Yep.
And for the Wolfpack, not a terrible decision. Get some points off of that turnover. You haven't been down in that territory often. And this way, if you get to the end zone, you don't need a 2-point conversion.
No, and then you can take the lead.
Jeebly and Tarnu, the deep backs, awaiting the kick from Johnson. And a good kick again takes Jeebly at the 7. Up the middle and out to about the 29-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals will take over.
A decent field position to start this next drive for Coon Rapids, and they certainly would like to get their offense going. There you see just 4 plays to go. 4 plays, 56 seconds, 25-yard field goal by Johnson.
They went 7 yards.
They went 7 yards. Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 29 for the Cardinals. Doe with a couple of guys in the backfield with him, including Miles Taylor. He gets the carry up the middle, and he's going to push his way out close to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he runs hard no matter what side of the ball he is on.
Leave it at the 34, gain of 5. Handoff goes to Taylor, and he's tripped up in the backfield. Leans forward, gains 2, 3rd down.
Another tackle by Max Giannini. That's his 5th. There you see the numbers for Coon Rapids on 3rd down, 4 of 9.
Hand off again to Taylor, and a flag coming in late. He was going to be short. It looks like he would have had the first down. We'll see.
That's gonna go against the Cardinals. They have movement.
And right now they're standing just across the 39, so it would be a first down, but the Wolfpack clapping, so.
I didn't see a hold. I thought I saw a movement, but nonetheless, it's going against the Cardinals.
Moves them back to the 26. It'll be 3rd and 13.
I'll give him 5
That's
back.
going to give him 5 right back.
As you talked about, Joe, just too many penalties on both sides. Cardinals held a time of possession of 14:24 for the 9:36 in that first half.
You know, some of the penalties are unavoidable,
Right.
but all the you know, procedure penalties and timing penalties, late pass, incomplete, dropped by Ryan Garlick. It'll be 4th down, and the Cardinals will need to punt.
Again, trying to get a playmaker with some speed involved, and that pass just a little bit low for Garlick.
See, when he talked about he had caught all 8 of his targets.
Yeah, you jinxed him.
Cardinals lining up to go for it, or at least try to get the Wolfpack to jump.
I think that's what they're trying to do. I guess they do the little pooch punt here.
And that is what they are going to do.
It's blocked.
Didn't get much of it.
Oh, I
Did
think he
bounce?
touched it. I think.
Did it, Wolfpack able to get on it right back at midfield.
Oh, you got it.
But,
Cardinals had the best shot at that.
That one, I think touched one of the downfield coverage men for Park, but they were able to get on top of it.
Max Giannini able to jump on it. But again, that, I mean, you see it. It did. Yeah,
it
right
definitely
there.
hit him right in the knee. And
you have to grab that.
Get on top of that.
You just have to fall on it. Yeah, it looks like Lane had it as well.
Yeah, we saw the pooch punt lead to the Cardinals getting the ball right back last week. Nearly happened again. But, Cedillo, don't try to pick it up and run. Just fall on the ball.
Yep, that's all you have to do.
But easier said than done. And he's unable to secure it. The Wolfpack start 1st and 10 from their own 49. Set up the receiver screen on the right side. That ball came out late, and they are going to whistle that he was down, and that was the right call.
Yep. It looks like, for the most part, Malik Singer has been taking that spot for, I believe, for Jordan Nolan.
Took you a long time to come up with that.
I had to make sure he wasn't at another position, so I didn't speak incorrectly.
Oh, goodness gracious. Flags on both sides.
Yeah,
the back judge on both sides of the line threw them almost simultaneously. So they both saw it.
It hasn't been very pretty, this football game.
That's
might be an understatement.
That's being gentle. And that was what they have 6 in the first half to the Cardinals 8. And now it's 3-2 here in the second. I mean, if that factored into the score, Handoff in the backfield, buried is Christopher Brewer. We'll see where they mark it on forward momentum.
That's Ted Rowan Singer on the tackle for Coon Rapids. I mean, again, just the Cardinals being aggressive. Singer did a really nice job of fighting off the block.
Ball placed right at the 45, so it'll be 3rd and 14 from there. Oh for 6 on 3rd down in the ball game are the Wolfpack. Kimmel out of the shotgun. Blitz comes late. Throw is short, incomplete. Nearly picked off by Jeebly, who had coverage on the play. Intended receiver was Nathan Hadler.
No, Kimmel was hit too as he released the ball, which changed the course of the direction. You're going to see here just
delayed
Cardinals
blitz.
bringing the house there.
Delayed blitz came in and got to him right as he released the ball. It's Lavelle McGrone. And so another punting situation for Caden Johnson and another good punt. Shai Nolan takes it from the 22-yard line, returns it out to the 28.
So the Cardinals back on offense. Holding a 8-3 lead. Jeebly back in the backfield for Coon Rapids after Miles Taylor had a stint last time out.
He was in the backfield too.
Right, but as the single running back.
Handoff goes to Jeebly, gets away from an arm tackle, and a flag coming in late as he gets across the 30 and is wrapped up. A gain of 3 after what could have been a loss, but most likely going back.
It's got to be a hold, yep. Boy, this has been a comedy of errors as far as flags called on both sides.
Trying to think how the Benny Hill music goes, which would also be very appropriate. Ball spotted back at the 20-yard line, so a 1st and 18 from there. Jeebly in the slot on the right side. Cedillo, the man in motion, he gets the carry. Trying to turn upfield and just nothing there, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. So it'll be 2nd and 19. There it was.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Great television.
2nd and 19 from the 19. Doe, play action, passes, tipped and picked off. And it is Micah Runyon. And another turnover that's going to set the Wolfpack up deep in the Cardinal end.
That's an unfortunate situation, too. I mean, just off the hands of a receiver right into the hands of a defender. He's covered there, and Leighton bringing him down.
So they start 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 25-yard line. Strong side left after the shift. Handoff goes to Cons. Gets behind that big left side of the offensive line and continues to drag and pull and push. And now the Cardinals have the ball going the other way.
Blake Singer.
I'm not sure how he got the ball away, but clearly in possession of it, and the runner never went down. that is when the second effort can cost you.
Well, and they took a long time to blow that whistle too. I was a little surprised. He got stuffed up. Let's see if we can see where the ball comes out. Again,
Well, but he's still being moved forward.
Yeah, but
at
where
this
does it come out?
Well,
Where,
here's Singer's right there.
Yeah.
Ball came loose. He picked it up off the ground.
Yeah. There it goes. You can see a nice view of it coming out there. And again, good job by the Cardinal defense just fighting for that ball.
Jeebly, small hole off the left side. He spins his way out to the 33-yard line.
In the right place at the right time as that ball pops out. Malik Singer doing a great job of picking it up, realizing where it is, and getting some nice yardage out of the return before being brought down.
2nd and 6, another handoff to Jeebly, and he's tripped up. That was a big tackle right there by Runyon. He had the interception, and that one, there was a big hole there. If he doesn't get the ankle, that might have been a big gain, but stops him for just a 1-yard pickup, 3rd and 5.
Cardinals 4 of 10 on 3rd down. I know that's a stat that Coach Russell would like to see a bit better.
Line up 4 receivers to the right, run the option to the left. Late pitch goes to Jeebly, cuts back, gets behind his blockers, weaves his way out to the 40, and he'll have the first down.
Boy, and Doe just pitched at the very last second.
Yeah, when it was getting almost too late, a little bit scary, but Jeebly able to secure it, and he's so shifty.
Yep.
Able to really just work his way back and forth, east and west, to get that 5 yards and the first down.
15 carries for 81 yards for David Jeebly.
You'll take that option.
Absolutely.
For average. Quarterback draw. Doe spins away from a tackler, sidesteps another, and he is out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
And that'll do it for the quarter.
So it is 8-3 in favor of the Coon Rapids Cardinals. They have the ball near midfield when we return to start the 4th quarter on CTN.
County hopes construction of the overpass can start in March or April and be finished by the start of the new school year.
Yes, I'm going to live to be 100.
That is vintage CTN coverage. Coon Rapids versus the Park of Cottage Grove Wolfpack.
The great Clayton Koppel.
The one and only Clayton Koppel. 2002. 16 years ago, Shapiro.
That was the first game. That was 2001. So 17 years ago.
Okay. 2001.
Yep.
2002, we were here.
Used to call Yun Joe Babyface Yun.
Yeah. We will start this 4th quarter. Coon Rapids leading 8-3. And you can see how much prettier our picture is these days. On 2nd and 1, the handoff to Jeebly. He's got the first down into Wolfpack territory, fighting for another inch or two. And they are going to mark it close to the 46-yard line.
I think it's the same flag, Joe. There we are. Look at my hair. Got that spike look going. What was I thinking?
I got some hair going on.
You do have some hair. Babyface Yund.
I've still got
that. Was the
shirt.
I've
still got that shirt and tie combo.
That's
still
the first
wear them.
Telestrator, the very first Telestrator that CTN had. There it is.
Just got it in the budget just before that game.
designing a play.
I still feel exactly what my expression is in that shot. Cedillo in motion, fake the give to him. Keeper for Jordan Doe. And he has a nice run, another first down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Now, this is some of the things that were working for the Cardinals earlier in this game and just doing a nice job of running the ball. And the defense had to be concerned. I mean, you saw the defense being fooled on that play. Giannini, don't fool him very often. There's 16 carries, 109 yards for Jordan Doe. 10 tackles for Giannini tonight. He's right at his average, almost at his average.
Fake to give to Cedillo again, and again Doe with the keeper. He's down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 4. So a score here for the Cardinals would be huge.
Oh, would be huge. I think still plenty of time for the Wolfpack, but it would be tough.
Doe on the keeper the whole way. Nice hole off the left side. He's got a first down as he strolls out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and again, good blocking up front allowed him to gain that edge. I mean, you're going to see it here. David Jeeby does a nice job of coming out and putting a hat on a hat.
Spot him out of bounds at the 22, 1st and 10 from there. Handoff goes to Jeeby. Jeeby breaks a tackle and falls forward across the 15. Gain of about 7.
And again, the Cardinals more than happy to do that. Not only do they're successful on the ground, but it's taking time off the clock. So we're under 10 minutes in this contest.
Well, they had a drive. Their most successful drive against Hopkins last week, 16 plays, all runs, took 6.5 minutes off the clock. And if you're able to do that, you'll win a lot of football games.
You definitely do.
Control the clock, control the ball, control the score. Fake the give to Cedillo again. Doe on the keeper. I think the Wolfpack have figured that one out. Doe not going to get a lot of room there. He'll come up just short. It'll be 3rd and about a yard.
Well, it's obviously 4-down territory in this situation. There's a flag.
Cardinals go under center for the quarterback sneak. You rarely see Doe get up under center. Unfortunately, you frequently see that.
And that's just got to be frustrating for the coaching staff.
Would have been a first down, but
so make it 3rd and 6. Still 4-down territory, but you take a first down away, and that hurts.
Yep, far too many penalties, both sides.
Yep.
Miles Taylor in the backfield. He'll help throw a block. Doe spins but can't break the tackle. He's dropped for a loss. It'll be 4th and 7 from the 20.
That's Max Giannini doing a nice job of coming in from his linebacker position to make sure that Doe was not going to get away from him and dropped him for the loss. Well, now you have to be concerned. Do you try for it on 4th and 7 or you kick the field goal?
Well, not a lot of wind. You definitely have a kicker who has the leg to do it from here. I mean, you're looking, still, that's a long kick.
It is.
37-yard, and you're on the left hash. I don't think you attempt the field goal.
You probably don't at this point, but you certainly don't want to turn it over on downs either and come away empty. Cardinals are going to call timeout.
It does look like he's motioning. Oh, he's motioning not to his kicker, but to his running back. Yeah, big play right here on 4th and 7. But yeah, that'd be a 37-yard. If you're at the middle of the field,
Maybe
or
think
even
about
on
it.
the right hash, I think you might think more about it than with you on the left hash. Right-footed kicker and Alex Findlay, whose miss on the extra point against Hopkins sailed wide left when he shanked it. I mean, he's been really solid, and he's definitely a weapon, something that, any high school team would love to have a kicker that you can put out there and attempt even the 35, 40-yard field goal.
He has a 41-yard field goal on this season. So, yeah, he definitely can make it. But you're right. Where the ball is on the field, it doesn't sit well for a field goal from that situation. And it's a big decision for the coaching staff here, Coach Russin.
See what they decide to do. I'm a little surprised they called the timeout rather than going in there and at least trying to get the Wolfpack to jump before taking the timeout.
Yeah, that would have made it a little easier 4th and 2 than 4th and 7.
Not getting the penalty and getting the first down on 3rd down would have made it even easier.
Let's see if they bring the house here.
Doe drops back, waits, now throws. Pass is incomplete, intended for Cedillo. A couple of flags in the backfield, and they won't matter. This will be declined. Unless it's a roughing the passer, but I didn't see Doe get hit.
I didn't see it either. Got to be a hold in that situation.
It came out before.
So plenty of time for the Wolfpack here, just trailing by 5, 7:51 remaining in this contest, and now you're put the onus again on your defense. I'm not sure who they call that on. Nonetheless.
Either way you slice
Yeah.
it, the Wolfpack takes over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Kimmel out of the shotgun. Cardinals showing blitz up the middle. They'll bring some pressure. Flags fly. We'll
I think that's
march
that's
him
movement.
back a
Yep.
couple of minutes.
Wow.
A couple of yards. The officials may need to get new flags after this game. They'll be worn out.
Or whistles. 20 penalty accepted between these two teams here in this game. That's crazy.
And we still have more than half a quarter to go.
So what you're saying is there's time for plenty more?
Correct. Well, with the way we're playing, we're getting one every 2 or 3 snaps, and big trouble in the backfield. All kinds of Cardinals, and Cons is just run over. Oh, I'm sorry, it was not Cons, it was Christopher Brewer, and he's just buried in the backfield. King got a hold of him right away. The Miles is right there.
We haven't called Ty King's name much tonight, so he's been pretty active all season long. One of the better defenders on this squad for Coon Rapids.
Well, and now the Wolfpack with 2nd and 20 from their own 10. Team that doesn't throw a lot. It's definitely not their strength, but a definite passing situation.
Clock's not running.
Waiting for the clock to be set to the right time, and Wolfpack receivers are going to tire themselves out running back and forth across the field the whole time they were trying to get the clock set. Throw is complete. A very open Joshua Caldwell.
No, he dropped it.
Hard.
He dropped it.
Oh, they're going to say it's incomplete?
Yeah, it's incomplete. And again,
I didn't
you were
think
right.
it came out until he hit the ground.
Oh,
that's a terrible call.
Yeah, that's not a good call. That should be a catch.
That's a horrible call.
Yeah, that should be a catch. The ball didn't come out till after he touched the ground, hit the ground. And
is that the same
Coach
one was that the same one that called the interference? I'm just wondering.
It might be.
Curiosity.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's a call that should not have been.
And I mean that was it'd still be a third down and 5 situation here, but
there's nobody covering the guy in the slot. That's the second time. We'll see what they do to adjust that. Now there's somebody coming over.
Tedrow is coming out to adjust, and big hit by Shai Williams.
He laid the lumber
as the catch is made by Nathan Hadler.
Yeah, he laid the lumber to him. Hadler coming out, and Shai Williams, full head of steam. Great tackle.
So on 4th and 15, they'll send Caden Johnson out to punt. Shai Williams standing at his own 45-yard line. Good pressure coming from Tedrow and a bad bounce for the Wolfpack. This one will be downed at their own 43-yard line. And the Cardinals will take over in great field position. So after turning it over on downs, they get it back in great field position. They hand off to Miles Taylor, who runs forward for a couple.
Well, we'll see that the Cardinals continue to run this ball here.
How about that for a change of speed, Miles and David Cheabley?
Yeah, it's two different backs, thunder and lightning.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, and of course, Miles was the featured back for the Cardinals most of last year.
That was a few pounds ago.
And he's definitely specialized on the defense this year and having a great year. He's a handoff to Cheabley, tried to cut back. He's going to gain a couple more, but it'll be 3rd and about 6.
I'll see if they continue to keep the ball on the ground here at 3rd and 6. Time continuing to run out. 5:40 remaining in the contest. Cardinals with a slim 5-point lead. 5 of 12 on 3rd down for Coon Rapids. Wolfpack are coming.
Well, they need some. They need to. They can't give up points here late in the 4th quarter, and they need to get the Cardinals off the field as soon as possible, so that they can preserve as much time. And nothing there for Jordan Doe on the keeper. It'll be 4th and 6. I guess they did give him a yard.
Yeah.
But still, 4th and 5.
Cardinals 1 of 4 on 4th down.
Doe's going to drop back into a punting position, and there's a flag and a false start. It had been a while.
Well,
we made it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We made it 7 plays without a flag.
If indeed they're going to punt this ball, that's not a bad penalty to take, because you give himself a little more opportunity here to try and pin him down deep.
How about we march him back some more? Fourth and 15 from the 48.
Again.
And now the Cardinals are going to call timeout. That's their second timeout. They have no timeouts left. They have 1 timeout left, which is okay as long as you stay in front. Just don't give up a score here late and have to rush down the field without those timeouts. But it's interesting, they after the first false start, they didn't put Joseph Tarnu in to punt, who has been the typical punter.
Yep.
They left with Jordan Doe in there, and it looked like they were going to do it again and before they called the timeout.
Well, now let's see what they do coming back out here to punt the ball. Did you know we're live on Twitter? I think I've asked you that question before. I can't remember what you said.
I said I've heard that, but
Yeah.
I couldn't confirm because I don't Twitter.
Now it's a tweet if you find it. Let me
Now
tell
they
you.
will send Joseph Tarnu out to handle the punting. Donovan Blatcher is the deep back for Park of Cottage Grove. Tarnu standing at his own 37-yard line. Good punt, but does it have too much on it? Yes, it does. It's into the end zone. Ryan Corey was down there, but that thing came in fast and got to the end zone.
Yeah, once that hit the turf, it was there was no way they were going to down that.
.4:17 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Wolfpack will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Same place they got the ball last time. But on that drive, they went backwards.
They did.
Kimmel in the backfield with Christopher Brewer. And he wants to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ryan Corey will be thinking about that one all long weekend.
Yes, absolutely. That was right in his hands, and he knows it. He knows it. He's disappointed, obviously, but shake it off, go to the next play. But that's just a ball. I'm not sure who he was throwing to. He was throwing to Ryan Corey, actually.
Caden Johnson was in the
yeah,
vicinity.
but he was in the vicinity, but the pass was not to him.
So 2nd and 10. Handoff goes to Brewer up the middle. Not a lot there. About 4. 3rd and 6. Okay, I love their playboard.
I know.
Did you see this? The Yorkshire Terrier in the referees.
Super dog.
I love it. You got Superman, you got referee dog. I don't know what the deal is with referee dog, but I'm loving it. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Kimmel has time, waits, now steps up, wants to run, looking for room. It disappeared, and he's taken down by David Jeebley for a loss. It'll be 4th and long.
Yeah, and he's that same knee I think he hurt earlier came down hard on.
It'll be 4th and 9 from the 21, and they'll send the punt unit out. They still have their full complement of second half timeouts, so they can push the Cardinals back, and if they are able to hold, they will be able to conserve some clock to try and get the ball back, still trailing by 5. That one skipped to Johnson. He's able to pick it up and still get off a pretty good punt. Will take a good roll and be down at the Coon Rapids 41.
Yeah, and a nice job for him to get the punt off after that skipped off the turf.
2:31 remain here in the fourth quarter. Coon Rapids leads by 5. And all they need to do here is move the chains a couple of times.
Yep.
Force the Wolfpack to burn up their timeouts. Get the clock to tick down to 0, and they can go home with a 5-3 record for the regular season. Quarterback keeper, Doe. Good hole, spins forward out to the 47-yard line, a gain of 6.
Yeah, and again, they're going to take their time, take as much time as they can.
And at what point do you start calling the timeouts on defense?
You probably, if you want to win this game, you have to soon, like now, or you should have, because you're wasting some valuable time.
In the end, the defense has to be able to come up with a stop for the Wolfpack to have a chance. Empty backfield, Doe on the draw again, avoids a couple of tackles, spins across midfield. He'll have a first down to the Park 48-yard line.
Now they call a timeout. I thought, no, they didn't call a timeout.
The clock will stop as the chains are moved.
It's continuing to move now. Minute and a half. The nice numbers, 23 carries, 132 yards for Jordan Doe.
Well, and he's going to keep running it. The Cardinals just line up 5 receivers and force the secondary to spread way out. And, they just need to run the ball. And now you call the timeout.
With under a minute.
But you have to come up with a stop.
You do.
Timeouts are only going to work to stop the clock if you can stop the offense, get them off the field. You can't do that if you're giving up 6 yards a carry. However, you can do that and get off the field if you're giving up 6 yards a carry if the other team is getting a 5 to 10 yard penalty every other play.
This is true.
Which can happen.
It definitely
and
can
has
happen.
happened
We've seen it
tonight. It's interesting. It looks like both sidelines got the neon memo. It's like last game of the regular season wear your neon. Both teams, both sidelines have the neon. That's the home sideline there. But
there's the Cardinal sideline.
Handoff or a direct snap to Jordan Doe and another keeper and.
Another timeout called by the Wolfpack. They're now 3rd and 4.
It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Or 3.
He got a yard. And now the Wolfpack just 1 timeout remaining. But if they can come up with a stop here, call that timeout, and 1 more stop, they get the ball back.
Right. Got to get the stop first.
Stop is the big thing. That was a good play.
Yep.
Limit to 1 yard. Miles Taylor joins Jordan Doe in the backfield. And he will be the lead backer, and Doe is going to be stopped just short of the first down, it looks like.
Not far. Well, the clock's continuing to run.
I was going to say, it surprised me it took the Wolfpack that long to call the timeout. This is their last chance, really. 4th and 1. They have to come up with a stop.
They do.
If they're able to do so, they will get the ball back and have a chance. But they will have a lot of yardage to cover. And the first step is stopping the Cardinals. They have not really stopped the Cardinals on many run attempts for less than a yard. So stopping them is they would hope. They're very well aware of that,
Yes,
of
they
course,
are.
by this point. Now keep Miles Taylor in the backfield here on 4th and 1, and Doe is going to go up under center. Quarterback sneak all the way. That's what he does.
He's got it.
Taylor pushes him forward. Should have enough for the first down, and if he does, the Cardinals can just kneel on the ball and take the win.
Yeah, he has that first down. Oh, I don't know.
They are going to bring out the chains, so it's that close.
It might be the length of the football short. We'll see. It's going to be awfully close. He has it. Yeah,
there it is.
It is.
By the nose of the football.
And it wasn't a pretty win for the Cardinals, and they'll take it quite obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was not pretty way to finish the regular season.
No. You know, and you obviously have plenty of positives to take away.
Sure.
You ran the ball you got to win.
Yep.
You ran the ball quite effectively with a couple of different guys. You had one big pass play that was exciting to see. Ryan Garlick, and that's the only score. That's a big concern.
Yep, I agree.
mean, obviously you're going to get a bunch of pieces back when you get to playoffs, but you know you have to be able to score, and you have to be able to do more than run the football. You have to be able to have a passing game that can complement your run game if you want to be successful in the section tournament.
You can win games by running the football and playing good defense, but you cannot score just 8 points. You got to put more than 8 points on the board, but you can win.
With this defense, you can win with 8 points.
Well,
quite often.
When they play an offense that's a little better than this offense, they're gonna need to score some points.
This defense has shut down some
Cardinals,
pretty good offenses.
They have.
But ideally, yes, you would definitely like to have more than one score in the game. Jordan Nolan wrapped up, ace bandage on the ankle, on crutches. Hopefully that's just a very temporary thing.
Yeah, he's going to have some time to heal, though. He's got Cardinals should not play for a week and a half.
Well, we will take a short break, and then we will get some post-game reaction after this. You're watching live high school football on CTN. Back at Park of Cottage Grove High School, Coon Rapids victorious to end the regular season, and down on the sidelines with one of the stars of the game is Jen Halverson. Jen?
Jordan, you had 27 carries tonight for 142 yards. What was working so well for you?
It was just the line. They were getting a good push, and it was a great game plan by Coach. That was all. That was it.
Now that the playoffs are in sight, how will yours and the team's mentality shift?
It will definitely change. For the beginning of the season, it was just a slow second half. We got to change that. We're gonna come out with a warrior mentality, like always, and just win.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you,
Joe.
Thank you, Jen. And they will need to battle, and that has been a concern all season long. Going back to week one, week one there were a lot of concerns as they were shut out against a very, very good St. Thomas Academy team. But week two built a big lead. Didn't finish off the opponent in the second half. Week three built a big lead in the first half, didn't finish off the opponent in the second. That has got to change in the second half. They have to be able to put teams away. And like I said, we talked about, it's a very real possibility that they're the number 1 seed in this section. The other teams, Duluth East, Andover, Cambridge Isani, and St. Francis. Based on the QRF we looked at coming into this week, they were healthy. They had a healthy lead over both Andover and Duluth East, who are tied in QRF ranking and are ways behind them. But even though Duluth East has the best record, but strength of schedule, Cardinals definitely have the position there. Now down on the sidelines with head coach Nick Russin is Jen Halverson. Jen?
Coach, well, first, congrats on the win to end the final regular season. Jordan Doe, let's talk about him for a second and his decision-making. What did you think about that tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously, we didn't throw the ball a ton. And Jordan's just a player that he's a great athlete. We have a lot of confidence in him. I know we ran him a lot. I thought he made right reads. There's a couple balls. He threw one deep that got picked, one that got deflected. Not really his fault. So I thought he made smart decisions. I thought he did run tough, and I know we ran him a lot. So I'm really proud of him. He's a great young man, and he's a great player for us.
How important was this win in setting the tone moving into the postseason?
Yeah, I think obviously when you can get that last one in the season, I think it does bring momentum. And I just kind of told the boys, it's a great mentally tough game, and playing through some adversity and understanding it wasn't our prettiest game, but we did enough to get the job done. And I think that's just what teams do. Whether you win by a lot, you don't win by a lot, as long as you play together as a team, that scoreboard will turn out in your favor. So I'm excited for the next chapter, and we understand as a football team, we're not 5-3 anymore. We're 0-0.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jen. Second half, not a whole lot of highlights. A lot more flags than there were celebrations. Only score of the second half was after that turnover deep in Cardinal territory. The field goal by Caden Johnson from 25 yards out, and then the passes you heard Coach Russin talking about bounces away from the receiver right to the DB for a turnover. But defense held strong. And, again, we talked about it on Friday against Hopkins. We'll talk about it even more now. Most important focus now is being healthy for the playoffs.
That definitely is the key, and this is a team that once they get those healthy pieces back offensively, they look different. And the way this defense is playing, if they can hit on all cylinders offensively, they can run the ball and mix in with that pass. They've got a really good opportunity to go a ways here. And so this is a team in Coon Rapids now that they'll be healthy. They have that green light to really do well in the sections, hopefully. There you see, really outgaining Wolfpack by a large margin, but Joe Young, both of these numbers, let's try that again. Both of these numbers, 3 turnovers.
Well, but these numbers are yucky too.
But I'm talking about for a win. You get 14 penalties for 110 yards, and you still get the win.
22 penalties for 155 yards in the game.
Absolutely. Yuck is right. But that's the area I think the Cardinals need to clean up the most, is foolish penalties. And that's something that I'm sure that Coach Russin will talk to the boys about.
But this is one you can hang your hats on, right? That's not a great circle.
7 yards.
I missed it. Let's try that again.
There you go.
There we go. They can hang their hats on that. 87 yards allowed in the game by the Cardinals, only score the field goal. And again, that came after a turnover deep in their end, and they really didn't give any yards. And most importantly, they held off and didn't let them into the end zone. Defense has been the driving force between this team's success. They hope that will continue in the postseason, but at the same time, those pieces, those many members of their offense especially that have been nicked up and on the sidelines, they're hoping will return. Jordan Doe, a big cog for the defense, went out in tonight's game, did not return. We saw him on crutches there at the end of the game. We certainly hope he is able to return for playoffs as well.
Well, and I think the big thing, too, is that the fact that they most likely will get that bye. They don't have to play Tuesday. They don't have to play until Saturday. Will help some of those youngsters get a little more healthy as they progress throughout the week.
Well, and we've got a whole lot of playoff action coming up for you here on CTN. We'll obviously have high school. We'll have playoff football. We're going to do some playoff volleyball next week. The regular season just about over for everybody now. And, of course, the holiday weekend or the MEA weekend means not a lot going on over the weekend, but we will have a new edition of Sports Night coming up on Monday. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Park of Cottage Grove, it's Coon Rapids 8 and the Wolfpack 3. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us to continue to support everything we do here at CTN. To the entire crew, including our stats master, Harley Schultz, our sideline reporter, Jen Halverson, and the one and only Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.